Hi, fifth graders. This is a quick lesson on factors and multiples. So first, I want you to look at this multiplication sentence. 3 times 4 equals 12. Well, if you can remember what happens at a factory makes a product. And a product is another word for something they sell. So at the Apple factory, they make iPhones that you guys love to have, right? So if you think about it, the factory makes a product and that's what they sell. In multiplication, the factors, in this example, 3 and 4, think about a factory making Xboxes or iPhones or whatever you love. The factors of 3 and 4 produce a product, which is my awesome, wonderful, amazing 12. So the product is what those two numbers make when you multiply them together. So factor pairs of a number are just going to be multiplication facts that get you to a number. So if you can remember this, that factors are two numbers you multiply to get a product. And if you get behind in the notes, that's fine. And I'm going to put, after product, I'm going to say the answer because that's what you guys usually remember. If you get behind, that's fine. This is always available for you to go back and fill in any missing blanks you have, or if you need to re-watch it again. So factors are really important. So when I'm looking at factor pairs for a number, let's say I'm looking at factor pairs for 16. It's really helpful to make a T-chart. A T-chart is just what it sounds like. It looks like a big T. We're going to make these a lot this year, so you should get used to making them. So if I think about the factors of 16, first I want to start with 1, because 1 times 16 is 16. So 1 and 16 are both factors. Then I think, okay, next is 2. 2 times 8 is 16. Those are factors. I'm not going to write 3 here because I know 3 is not friends with 16. That's not going to work at all. 4 times 4 is 16. And now I have all the factors because 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way up to 16, you can count them up. It's not going to get you anywhere. So when you're doing these T-charts, start at 1 and ask yourself, 1, does it work? 2, does it work? 3, 4, and by the time you get to 9, you're done. So that's just one example. I'm going to show you one more. So I'm going to do 24. And I'm going to start with 1. 1 times 24 is 24. 2 times 12 is 24. 3 times 8 is 24. 4 times 6 is 24. And then from here, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I'm not going to find anything that works here with 24, so I'm done. So these are your factors. And it's really important you know all these words, especially for when you go to middle school. And this is your product. When you list them out like this, factor pairs are just listing out the multiplication facts, like 1 times 24. If it asks you to list the factors, then if you make this T-chart here, you can write down them all in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. And you'll notice I don't go past 6 on this column because 6 is here. And because of the commutative property, I can say 4 times 6, or I can say 6 times 4. It doesn't matter. It's still going to give you that product of 24. So I've got 6, 8. I'm going to come down to another line, 12, and 24. So those are factors. That's something you're going to need to know for the work you're doing today. With multiples, it's something you have known for a long time how to do. We've taught you this in early grades. Multiples are what you think of when you do skip counting. And in your early years, sometimes you have a teacher that has you count by 2s, or count by 5s, or count by 10s. So when I look at multiples of 3, I'm just counting up by 3s. The multiples of 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 4 is 12. And so on and so on. Usually when you have a question asking for multiples, I always tell kids to list 4 and then put some dots, because you could go on for the rest of your life and never finish that problem. So on multiples, just list 4. If it tells you to start at a certain number, then you're going to start there. But multiples are just skip counting. So multiples of 5 would be 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 3 is 15. 20. That was an easy one. So you're just going to list 4, and that's going to show your multiples. So if it asks you for a multiple of 12, a lot of kids want to put 4. Is 4 a multiple of 12? Well, think about what we just talked about. Can I skip count 12, 4 in that order? No, it doesn't make any sense. So when you're looking at multiples, that's not right, okay? You're going to do 12, and then 12 times 2 is 24 for a multiple. If I'm looking for a factor, that's different, okay? With the factor, I want you to make a factor t and do what we did before. 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4, and I'm done. So make sure you know the difference between a factor and a multiple. A lot of times kids mix this up, and I hope this video helps.